Welcome back to the show, everyone. Of course, as usual, this is our review of the last 7 days of action. We've got an awful lot to get through, but all the countdowns have started. 4 days until Trials Day, 11 days until the DRF, and only 58 days till Cheltenham. First of all, just checking with the lads. Joe, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. That's a bit of preparation there. You knew the exact days of when the next meetings are. No, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah.
Anyone would have thought I was excited.
Yeah, all good
Jamie,
here. All good.
Jamie, how are you, bud?
Good now. Thanks, Liam. Looking forward to that.
Good. As always, if you could please like and subscribe. Obviously, any comments below. We will get to our performance of the week at the end of the show, so you may as well drop in the comments. Who was yours? We're going to kick off. We're basically just going to try and group things together. So novice hurdlers, open chasers, hurdlers, and so on. So we're going to start with a bumper performance I was quite taken by. The Irish Avatar at Navan on Saturday. Jay, I'll start with yourself. Jigginstown had the 1-2. They wouldn't be the biggest fans, would they, of the champion bumper? But what did you make of the winner?
Very good. Would I be in love with him for a champion bumper? Probably not, Liam. Exactly. You took the words out of my mouth there. They're not really in love with the champion bumper. Have they ever actually won it? I don't think they've ever won it, have they?
No, no. The only thing is though, isn't it? It's like the Gigginstown horses are usually with Gordon Elliott if they're coming to a
Yeah,
bumper. This one's with
100,
Willie, so
100% there. Yeah, I'd be more in love with him maybe back in bumpers around Punchestown or Aintree or something like that. But I can't see him going to Cheltenham, to be honest with you. He might, because I have, to be honest with you, the only good one I've seen this year was that Trag Hill that won at Leopardstown at Christmas. Is the only good one I've seen from Willie Munnin so far. So, like, years ago you'd say, oh yeah, that's the one for the bumper, but not yet. And even looking at the entries for the DRF, it doesn't look great either. So, well, that Bedtrag Hill is in it, but I'll judge it off that, I think, if I'm looking for a champion bumper horse, to be honest with you, because I haven't seen one yet properly, really and truly. I just needed to see the second performance from a horse that's already won already. But he's a nice horse going forward, yeah, and he did it easy. If you do it easily up the Nevin straight, you're a good horse. So, yeah, he's definitely interesting for probably towards the end of the season.
Yeah, was this the same race, Joe, that was used for It's For Me a few years ago? He finished fifth, didn't he? I
uh,
think Townend rode him.
yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, I'm sure it was here. So it was at Navan, wasn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm sure it was. Yeah. Um,
Did you think that obviously Jigginstown aren't going to be even more enthusiastic after Jalon Dudary got injured after running in it, are they? Did you think
no.
he'll line up, mate? I know you mentioned the Willie angle.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't see why you maybe wouldn't go. He's a bit of an interesting horse because he was a little bit keen early on. He did like pull quite well clear, sort of coming at the home straight. Um, I struggle with these bumper divisions. I often leave them from a punting perspective until the week before, until we've sort of seen all the performances. But no, it's very likable. He sort of came with a fair reputation too. Um, Yeah, why not? Send him there. Why not? Why not? But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised, like Jamie said, if he just went to Punchtown or something instead. But I quite like him. Yeah, I quite like him. By poet's word, he's coming out of like a nice pedigree, done the right stuff. It's just hard to weigh it up when the division doesn't look overly strong this year so far, anyway. But
That horse that won at Nevin as well. What was that called? It's only me.
it's for me.
It's no. Do you know the one that won with
It,
Derek
it
O'Connor?
it's only a game. Are you on about
It's
that
only a
one?
game. Yeah, it's worth noting as well that it's only a game. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been changed from O'Leary to Tony Martin.
Interesting. Didn't realize that. Okay,
Tony
okay.
Martin did train for that owner before, and it trains a lot of horses for him anyway. So, but I presume he
Oh,
retired. Remember they resisted big offers for that horse that won it, that Nevin bumper with Derek
that's right.
O'Connor up
Yeah,
straight.
that's right.
Yeah, so he's definitely one to note as well. Yeah.
Is that in the Mole Ryan silks? The fast or slow
No,
colours?
it's kind of orange and yellow. Remember, they came up. It came up the straight there at Nevin, and I remember you said it was a good horse alert there. He won the last good
Oh
bumper. Yeah.
my oh my word.
Oh my word, that's it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think he's gone to Tony Martin.
I
Oh, that's
believe
interesting.
that he was left out of the champion bumper entries, I think,
Was he?
today. Yeah, obviously,
Yeah.
people would have had a good chance probably by the time this is out to have a look over them. But that's what I did see somewhere, Jay. It may be incorrect, so apologies if it is.
Horse for the future. So
Perfect. We'll move on to the juveniles. Winston Jr. didn't go up anywhere near as much as I thought. He's off a mark of 131. The British handicapper being pretty kind. He was quite devastating on Saturday at Ascot. Not sure what he's beat. Joe, I'll come back to you. We may as well group it in together because I'm sure you'll much rather be talking about the form being confirmed with PROACTIF and Macho Man. So, yeah, those two races, mate, over the course of the last 7 days, what did you make of them?
Winston Jr. was really good, really good. Don't really know what he beat because he sort of came into the race against a lot of sort of national hunt newcomers. A few of them had pretty decent form on the flat, but his jumping was bloody awesome. Like he really found things sort of straightforward. He's got a lot of speed. The problem is he's probably not going to be up to winning a Triumph. So he's going to have to go down the Boodles or whatever the new fancy name is now. But he's done himself no favors, obviously, with the handicap mark. But even if they tried to sort of have him win by 2, 3 lengths, I think they just struggled there. He was just off and away, just miles better than the rest. And even if he lines up at Cheltenham, he's going to have a decent chance. Whether or not he's really well handicapped is another question. But he has to be on your radar for the time being. But at the same time, I just wouldn't back him just yet. So we're probably going to have a lot more fancied horses nearer the time. A lot are going to come in for support when you realise they're not going to the Triumph and things like that. But he did nothing wrong, and it's just another nice horse for Faye Bramley, who seems to be finding not only good horses from other yards. Obviously, she had Glenn Gooley from Mullins, Pagan. They've got Statler. He's there with them now as well. Hasn't obviously been seen on a track yet. But Winston Jr., nice new recruit, seemingly competent at finding good new horses too. I did actually speak to Faye last week. And I asked if we could sort of have her on the channel. She said she's really shy and doesn't want to do podcasts, which is more than fair enough. But I did have a good chat with her, and she said, "Look, it's full steam ahead for Cheltenham." She expected to win this weekend gone, and got it done in fine style. So look, no reason why we won't see him at Cheltenham now. But these Boodles fields can be really deep, and you don't know what to really look at, I don't think, until we've got a bigger picture of the race, because there's so many well handicapped horses. But he has to be in the consideration. Nothing not to like about him, really, was there?
No, absolutely. Jamie, we'll just stick with this, and then we'll come back to obviously the two more that are fancied for the Triumph. 6-1 mad price, isn't it, for the Boodles?
Winston Jr. 6-1 for the Boodles.
Favourite, yeah, clear by the second fab's in at 14's top price. Yeah, massive discrepancy.
Oh, I didn't realise that. Oh God, no, I wouldn't touch that.
It's too short, James, isn't it? Like
That's crazy.
But this time
Like, there's a horse in Paul Nichols' yard who's achieved more. I know it was getting a stone and a half off Active Innocent. Manila Yoga, who runs hopefully on Saturday against Fieldgut at Cheltenham in the Triumph Trial, that has way more outstanding claims. It should be, well, it shouldn't be 6-1, but should be ahead of Winston Jr. in a Triumph betting, 100%. Would I be in love with Winston Jr.? Look, it's the Boodles. He'd have a chance, Liam. He's a bit too keen for me, but I think Harry Cobden's in pain not to win that far to get the mark 131. Do you know what I mean? It's not fair enough, Mark, I suppose, but would I be in love with it? No, I think exactly what you're saying. You know who I like for the Boodles, and with like PROACTIF Macho Man, if you want to move on to that, definitely, because there was a horse in that. Oh my God, like, come on.
Go on then, Jay. We'll start with him, Muntif, and then we'll move on to the front two.
Yeah, wait till the next race on the Saturday after the DRF. He'll be qualified then, and then back him then for the Boodles. Or if you want to back him now, because that's where he'll go. And that's the race that normally, isn't it, Liam, that throws up most of the, was it something out of the last, something Boodles winners, Jazzy Matty ran in it.
Oh, yeah.
And the Outlaws ran in it. It's I can't remember that JP horse that won. It's a Ben Haslam now. I can't remember the name of the horse.
Is it Milantino?
No, there was another horse years ago. It'll come to me. But yeah, just I'm going to wait till that race at Naas. But Muntif, huge eye catcher at Leopardstown, should have won the race. And then the last day, it was, in inverted commas, an educational ride by Philip Burns.
Fair enough. Stick with you, Jay, for the front two. PROACTIF and Macho Man. I suppose two things. Obviously, the form was confirmed, wasn't it, from over in France? And secondly, JP's done this before with Binocular and Fakir Duderi, and they do both hold entries. Maybe Willie Mullins just playing Willie Mullins games. But given the fact he's also got Narciso Has, do you think there's any chance that the winner of this runs in a Supreme? Was Captain CB also a juvenile, by the way?
He was,
No.
Captain CB.
No.
What
Captain
did
CB is a 7-year-old when he won the Supreme.
She was a 7-year-old, yes.
Captain CB wasn't a girl.
Oh, I know, no, but it was no Captain CB beat Binocular. Binocular was a juvenile that time, wasn't it? And
Oh,
that's Supreme. Yeah,
was it Binocular that was the juvenile? Was
yeah,
it?
it was,
And the
Binocular was the
4-year-old.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
Sorry, I
finished
know that
second.
Yeah. Finished second. Yeah.
he's one of the waves round.
I
Sorry.
think Liam, if Proactive or Narciso has were trained by not by Willie Mullins, I think one of them would go into Supreme. But Willie Mullins is a creature of habit, regardless of JP's power. Now I might be totally wrong. I think they'll both end up in the Triumph. That's just me. And if it was me, I'd split them. I'd put Proactive in the Supreme. But look, two chances is better than one, I suppose, and all
Hmm.
that crack. Do you know what I mean? But Proactive looks straightforward. Now we'll have to see the horse that was behind Macho Man and Friends Feel Good to see what the form is like. Hopefully, the weekend. If it was run again and there was no Narciso Has, I'd back Macho Man to be Proactive. Yeah.
You would triumph. You'd reverse
Oh
it.
no, like regardless, yeah, I think so. Sometimes you see horses like that. Macho Man looks like he'll improve with more racing, where Proactive look more professional. So yeah,
Was this also a similar case, Joe, with Phil Dorr and Vauban? Or Will he had two the other year, didn't he? And then Vauban ended up winning
Piper
the
beat
triumph.
Vauban and this and
That
that
was it.
race. Yeah. And it was the same. We were at the DRF. Was it Joe? You were all over Carl Geese that day, the first year I
Hmm.
met you at the DRF. And then I said, nah, I knew it that day. Marsburg would win it. You just know that race obviously is crucial as well, Liam. That race is going to be crucial. Now, Narciso Haas might not have nothing to beat. Would I be in love with that still? I think he's good on the clock. I understand that. There's something about that Narciso Haas that gets on my eyes that he's an awkward ride. And Cheltenham undulations might be going, uh-oh, I don't know what's happening here. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
So that's my only little crib with Narciso Haas at the moment. But I'd wait to judge the triumph till after the DRF. Yeah. But it's wide open and it's good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. Joe, Proactive, were you more impressed? Do you think that that form would not be reversed? And secondly, would your inclination, or perhaps you even know, mate, who would be sat putting in the entries today for these novice hurdles for the green and gold? Would it be somebody from the JP? From the JP, I don't want to use the word cartel, but I can't think of anything
No,
else. Or will it be Willie?
Willie does all of the entries along with David Casey and all of that stuff. Like it won't be
Okay.
it wouldn't be JP. He would certainly be given his opinion. But the entry stage will all be David Casey and Willie Mullins. But I was blown away by Proactive. I came into this race thinking Macho Man would be the better of the two, and he might still turn out to be. It's pretty much a case of what Jamie said. Like Proactive, he went from the front. But talk about Proactive first because his performance was awesome. He was brilliant from the front. He was settled as soon as the tapes went up. He was settled the whole way. He wasn't keen. He wasn't looking around. He wasn't novicey. He was relaxed. He travelled. He jumped so well and pretty much won hands and heels. He went from the front, and even when Macho Man then came up sides him, he got a clip of the reins and he was off again. It was awesome, and I didn't really expect this before. I've mentioned he came from Danielle and Melee's yard. In France, he won over 2 mile 2 on heavy ground. And sometimes that form doesn't always correlate, or it takes him a little time to sort of get used to racing in UK and Ireland. But he was like Jamie said, we were talking about Cargasi. She needs a run every season, and when she came over as a juvenile, she needed that first run to sort of sharpen her up. But he was absolutely mustard first time out. I haven't seen that from any horse this season. Even Narciso has when he beat Monge 2. Got beat by Monge 2. He came on loads for that run. If Proactive comes on for that run whatsoever, he is going to be absolutely dynamite in a Triumph hurdle. Macho Man, another though. He did loads wrong. He was keen early, didn't settle for two or three hurdles. When he did, and they asked him to close the gap, it looked like he might go on and win the race, and then just slightly petered out after the final hurdle. You'd want to see a little bit more maturity from him going forward. Anyway, he probably will have it, but I thought, like, I thought we'd struggle to find a performance better than Narciso has. But I think Proactive outdid him there, and if he comes on at all for that run, he is absolutely the Triumph one to beat at the moment, no doubt about it.
I'm surprised to see there's 8 to 1 available, and it's a bookmaker that you can get on with as well, Joe. Have you taken some? Will you take some?
I haven't bumper Triumph hurdle. I could tell you all about where they are, who they came from, but I'd leave my punting until a little bit later. I didn't realise though, Liam, that you could get 8-1 about him.
Normally,
Is that with Ladbrokes? Is it?
it is.
It
Yeah,
is with
and
Ladbrokes.
obviously
Yeah.
Collins. Yeah.
Yeah, look, that's a big price because I wouldn't be surprised to see them both turn up as well. Um, there's plenty of jockeys out there that would be happy to take the ride. Obviously, you got Mark Walsh, Townend might want to be on Macho Man possibly, but then as we know, there's talk of Cobden and things. There's plenty of spare riders out there to take these rides, good quality riders. For me, Proactive is absolutely the number one now. I haven't seen a juvenile do that on a sort of first start over here in a long, long time. I was madly impressed. I was.
Given that Walsh is still under contract, open to either of you, and let's say both line up in the Triumph, who do you think gets, if they do, get a pick at all? Who gets first pick?
Mark Walsh will get first pick, and he'll probably ride Narciso Has just on the basis that he came on for his first run, beating sort
Mm.
of second to March 2 and then came on for it. I just feel like that will edge it to him. But what I do like as well, just about Proactive, he's by Master Marvel. They've got a bit of stamina and things, and you do need that obviously in a Triumph. He's the one that's probably got speed and stamina, where Narciso Has looks to have just speed. Um, I was madly impressed with this. I might even back him, Liam. I might do. Um, yeah, I'm thinking about it even right now. Actually, he was mustard, absolute mustard. Yeah,
Do you need
diamond.
us to, do you need us to pause?
So, yeah, sorry. Yeah, I just sort of yeah, yeah, exactly. Just having a think, but really good. Macho Man will come on plenty, but Proactive, like as far as juveniles go, find me a negative because there absolutely wasn't one, not one.
No, fair play, fair enough. Joe really liking Proactive then, and may
Mm.
even have a bet on it himself. I'm going to go on to the Bambino Fever because friend of the show, the Bambino Fever performance at Fairy House, that was on Wednesday. I know that friend of the show, Sean Dunn, did some stuff on times. I think there was a gap of 50 lengths based on both the performances. Now I know that times will be for everyone, but just interesting information. Nevertheless, 9-4, Jamie has been favourite pretty much throughout the whole anti-post leading into this year, hasn't she? What did you make of her win? Obviously, reversed that form from earlier in the season.
She's good. What? It's not a bad race, Liam. I suppose the horse that JP has sourced from that crowd, like they got from the Wall Park, old school, whatever, who beat her at Nace, is running the Salarina on Saturday at Ferry House. So then hopefully she'll frank the form. Um, she's a player. Bambino's a player. And the horse that I can't still believe was beating an Ascot on open company the weekend, Le Conquer. They're three good mares, and it'll be she'll fight. Like it's not a penalty kick for Bambino Fever, but I will say you got to look back, like, do you know what I mean? At the champion bumper, heads up, second, shuttle diplomacy third, shuttle diplomacy second to King Rascal, Great Limerick. You've El Kairos in the race. You've no drama to saying Coco Cabana has to come back out. The likes of Fortune Demare's one big handicaps at Cheltenham. The bumper's not that bad compared to years ago. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes those bumpers fall apart and crumble form wise, but their form is standing up this year. So she's good. She's won at Cheltenham, I suppose, as well. But you're switching from old to new. I think she'll suit. She's more. I think we want to stop now about this supreme idea with her. I don't think the old course would suit her the way she runs. I think the new track is more stamina laden. Obviously, we know that 2 miles one is more as a stamina race, the mare's race, novice race. Sorry. So yeah, I think a lot of people are going to latch it. I don't. If the Irish are going well during the week and Willie Mullins has 5 or 6 winners, she won't go off that price day. She'll be 6-4. It's up to you if you want to have a big bet in it. I wouldn't at the moment because I still like that Jamie Snowden filly, Le Conquer.
No, fair enough. Joe, I doubt you'll agree with Tony Mullins. Straight after this race, he said, "There we go. We've seen the first banker of the Cheltenham Festival." You've obviously already
No.
tipped something else in this. So yeah, I'm sure you disagree.
Yeah, I wouldn't see her as a banker at all. She definitely isn't a supreme horse. I just think that's bonkers. That's just the lack of Willie Mullins ammo in that division. People saying, "Well, you got this mare." It's the same with everything. Lossie will go to the mare's hurdle. Vatafala will go to the race that he's won. Bambino Fever will also stay in her division. She's going to be a proper contender, isn't she? She's not very assuming when you look at her. She's quite small. She's not like anything special, but she does keep seemingly like getting the job done. I wouldn't say she's massively like tactically versatile. She might struggle a little bit in the mares, I think. You know the horse I fancy already. I've put her up at much bigger prices for the mares novice, but Look, she's going to take a fair bit of whacking, isn't she? But she's not flashy, and I don't think she's unbeatable. I certainly wouldn't want to go backing her at this stage anyway. But she was good, and she did need to do that to sort of get her name back in the hat. But I wouldn't see her as any form of banker. She's very much a galloper considering she's a 2 miler. It's not like she's going to sit off the pace, click her fingers, and turn her foot off she goes. It's not like that with her. Um, yeah, she's more of a galloping 2 miler, Liam, and that would worry me actually. I think she'll do better next season when she goes up to the mare's hurdle over 2 mile 4, 2 mile 1. She's winning, but doesn't scream to me like a superstar. Certainly doesn't physically either. So
Mm.
she's probably at the right place in the market. I just don't think she's the right price myself.
Yeah, no, I would completely agree. Moving on to some of the geldings, Wednesday, I was really taken by this, was given a mention by myself, so I'm going to give myself a little pat on the back. With our episode with the Tap Lads, which if you haven't seen, you can go and check that out on the channel. Really good episode looking at all the grade ones for the festival. Sober Glory, I gave him a mention at 66s and thought if he could bounce back, he was definitely too big of a price. Won at Chepstow, good form lines, and he bolted up here. People may point to the opposition, but I really like this. Joe, now 20 to 1 top price. I know we're going to get on some other performances in this division, but were you taken by it as well last Wednesday?
Not at all. I just don't think he's anywhere near good enough. Again, it's just opinions and all of that jazz. And I know we've seen some figures that suggest he's pretty smart. I just trust in my eyes here, Liam. I don't think he's anywhere near good enough. I wouldn't see him in the top five in a triumph, in a supreme. Sorry. Even with like my daddy Paddy Idaho son, I wouldn't see him beating those. I don't think he's fast enough. Just doesn't interest me, Liam. Sorry. Sober Glory looks like a top end handicapper for next season, me.
Could quite well be the case. On some of the figures that I've seen, he's actually put up one of the best performances of any novice hurdler so far this season. So I took a bit of the 150s on the exchange. So hopefully he does.
If you're getting that sort of price, like it's like you're having a swing at something, and rightly so. But if you're getting 20,
I know what he's going to win next year.
Greatwood.
Correct! Yay!
There you go. You got an anti-post hit. But for like 20 to 1, I wouldn't touch him with stolen money. There's plenty of other better bets. I think
he's saying here he's still 40 to 1 on my Paddy Power here, which is still a decent bet each way. So if you like him, yeah.
You're getting 8 to 1 for a place at 40s.
Yeah, he's a lot. He's a lot of horses to beat. Liam, unfortunately, that's just me as well. Yeah. It's like Idaho Sun, I'll Kairos. We'll get on to more of them obviously afterwards, but he'd have a lot to beat in that. I think he could be better next year over further. But look, he'd be if he exactly what I was going to say there. He'd definitely be on my radar because that same owner won obviously with Alexi last year. So this year, yeah, last year, sorry, this season in the Greatwood. So yeah, he'd be my further radar for that in the future. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Could well be the case. Apologies for misquoting the prices. I think the fee.
No, you're fine. No, I was actually looking for it. I said, where is it?
I think feeds are still updating with obviously.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are because sometimes we click into the price is different.
We've had all the entries this morning as well, haven't we? So it's all over. Just on that note, Liam, just quickly, sorry, going back to Proactive, we spoke about him going for the Supreme. I'd still be surprised there, to be honest, because I think everyone was expecting Fou de Trois to be a 2 miler, even me, but he didn't even get an entry in the Supreme.
Well, stop. People stop mentioning that horse. He won't be seen till Punchestown. He'll rock up. All right, leave it there.
We should call him Who de Trois because we haven't seen
Who
him
de Trois, yeah.
But
the Trois.
But he is entered in a Turners. I think that's quite talent, to be honest with you, that he didn't. Whereas the likes, if you look at You Proof, who I like for a Turners, you like for a Bartlett, he's got an entry in all three. If they're considering him for a Supreme and not Fou de Trois, I think that is a big statement of where they put Fou de Trois at the moment. Probably is not as good as what we were hoping for.
Fair enough. A horse that was put on a few people's radars online, Joe. I think you flagged him relatively early, who ran directly after Sober Glory. Fire Warning. Were you more impressed by this? He did look a bit novice. He was entitled to do so, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was good. Like I quite enjoyed it. I don't mind if you win sort of front running tactics on your debut, and you know a couple of the horses come and close, and you manage to sort of fend them off, still find a bit of turn of foot. There was a lot to like about it. He's out of the High Chaparral Dam, which makes him sort of a half relation there to Altior, so they know sort of the pedigree and what may come from this horse. But I'm miles more impressed by the other horse of Hendo's, which we'll obviously get onto in a minute. But Fire Warning definitely deserves to line up, and you could see him sneaking into the top 3 or 4, and then becoming a really smart novice chaser maybe next season. That's where I would see him. I wouldn't want to back him for a Supreme. I think they've got the winner already. But he's certainly one to keep on your radar. 1 for 1, pedigree lovely, did everything right. He's just going to be a much better horse next year. Like you said, Liam, real novice. He needs this season, I feel. We're quite close to the Cheltenham Festival now. I wouldn't have minded seeing that performance in October or November, given a bit of time to mature, and he doesn't look ready to win a Supreme anyway, for me.
Jamie, would you even have him on your radar for a Supreme, or do you think he needs once further? Jamie, Joe's alluded to some of the breeding. Altior probably wanted to go up trip earlier than he ever did, didn't he?
Yeah, 100%. No, he wouldn't be on my radar. And it's another case. Look, he's decent horse team. But I think it's another case as well. You just have to slight word of caution with yourself. Is that everybody is that it's Rich Ritchie getting a horse with Nicky Henderson, and it's going to be overhyped. Uh, and that's what it's alarm bells in my head straight away. Do you know what I mean? Done it well. Probably not experienced enough now. I'm probably going to be hypocritical on about a horse. I'm going to be on about a Supreme, but be not ready. But yeah, I'll wait till I see him again now to put reserve judgment. Oh, he'd have no chance in even getting in the first 3 returners or Supreme at this present moment in time. No.
Would the picture be clearer? Well, would it be far less clear for Mighty Park in that case? Obviously, won by 38 lengths. Do we really know what trip that he wants? And what did you make of the? I think he was given a figure of about 1 billion, wasn't he, on RPRs and official ratings following that?
Yeah, but yeah, what like that? But Doc Reno is it Reno, whatever it's called for Willie Mullins
What
had a
do you know?
couple of runs. Do you know what I mean? Another horse I'd have to seek in because he got a soft lead. Now jumped well enough. Time lads were delighted about it. But years ago, Liam, if that was the case and you saw horse won by 38 lengths, he'd be favoured already. But he's not favoured for anything. So that's alarm bells to me straight away. So yeah, I'd have to see him again. I think there's a listed novice hurdle at Punchestown in the middle of February. I think Tully Hill won it before he ran into Supreme. I think he'll go there next, but you're probably not going to learn much. Do you know
Mm.
what I mean? He wouldn't be for me. No, I think he's a fine strapping chaser for next year. All right, yeah. Now he could fool us all. He might be an absolute weapon altogether. But that was kind of not a good look. I know you have to judge on a Mullins horse, but that Mullins horse is probably like what low mid 120s, early like late 120s kind of a horse. Fair enough, people might like it, but I'd have to see him again. But even that race of Punchestown, you're not going to learn much. You're going to have to take a lot of chances with him, like, you know, to think he'll win at Cheltenham. Looking at him, I think he's a Turner's horse, not a Supreme horse.
Fair enough. Joe, we saw performances like this from the likes of Kiss Will. There was definitely another one from Mullins Yard that perhaps you can recall that I currently can't. Is Mighty Park another one of those? A nice horse, but not a great horse? Or do you think that he's proper?
Proper horse, proper horse. Just don't think he's raised ready for a Supreme and Turners on what we saw this weekend. Like Jamie said, I'd hope that he gets another run into him before the Cheltenham Festival just to sharpen him up. And you don't know what he's like with horses around him. He was given a bit of a freebie here, to be honest, and just went away and got the job done. Not interested in RPRs. The way they're calculated is absolute nonsense, in my opinion. I look at RPRs now and then on points pointers because you've pretty much got nothing else to go on. You don't really know what they're up against. It just gives you some sort of guide, but giving a horse an RPR that big off the back of that with no competition is just bonkers, in my opinion. You've got to go and do it against proper horses. He was basically just out there having sort of a racecourse gallop, wasn't he? So he is interesting though, really well bred, but by walking the park, typically we've been led to believe they're all 2 milers. JONBON, Duvan, Min, all of that. But as time's gone on, they're actually 2.5 and 3 milers. We've mentioned like he's won the Grand National and Gold Cup last year and the Bet365 at Sandown. So I just wonder if he does need a little bit of a trip. And it's interesting because it's like Jamie said, after winning like that, you would go, oh, there you go, there's JP's Supreme horse. But perhaps not. He just looked like he might prefer a little bit of a trip. But the fact they are a little bit light on the ground with the JP horses in the Supreme, perhaps they'll take their chance and run him in a Supreme and get that experience. Because I can't see them running Proactive or Narciso has in a Supreme personally. I just don't understand why you'd bother. I really don't. Keep them as juveniles, and send them to novice company sort of next season.
Is the only reason you'd bother to is because you think you got a decent chance of winning both? If you think Proactive's a proper one,
I mean, they might think it, and if they do, then so be it. But I just don't like it. Keep him in their lane for now because you could ruin him. If you run Proactive in a Supreme when he's off his feet early, can't go the pace, you're probably ruining him for next season as well, and then you're straight away on the back foot. I just like them to stick to the divisions that they're meant to be in because then you'll get the proper improvement. Like Mighty Park, he will run in a Supreme or Turners, no doubt about it. Which one, I have no idea. I think he's a Turner's horse, but with what JP's got, just wouldn't surprise me if he ends up in a Supreme finishing third, something like that. And then he's a big prospect for chasing next year because I think he'll go chasing quickly. Um, yeah, perhaps he's their Supreme horse name. Perhaps he is.
yeah, quite possibly. We will see. Just to touch on this, just very briefly, at Windsor on Friday, Money Garrow was a winner. Harry Skelton kind of touted or at least name dropped the Albert Bartlett as a potential target for him. Also now he's qualified, I think, for handicaps. I think he's had his 5 runs, but don't quote me on it. He's definitely had at least 4. Joe, shaking your head, 4?
He needs one more for a handicap.
Needs one more. So he still needs one more run. I was thinking potentially the Martin Pipe would be his aim. Unfortunately, that owner's had a bit of bad luck this season, hasn't he? I liked
Martin Pipe's a conditional handicap though, so I think it's 3, isn't it, for Martin Pipe?
No, it's 5 for the Martin Pipe.
5, even though it's a conditionals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Martin Pipe is ruined now because you can't really qualify a novice for it anymore.
Of course. Cool. Yeah.
Stephen Bowes had a bit of bad luck. Fortune Demare both country mile out for the season, so this will probably be his main dart. Lads, I imagine this one will be very simple, short, and quick. Any chance at Cheltenham in any race for you boys, Joe?
I mean, he likes Cheltenham, doesn't he? That's one. Did he run at Cheltenham? Sorry.
Oh, you're thinking a country mile behind.
Yeah, I'm
Wingdon.
on her. Yeah, miles away. No comment, Liam. I haven't got enough to say about him, to be honest.
Fair enough, mate. Jay?
Very interesting, but I like what he did there 3 miles, but I think they have the 3 miler for their per Thames. I was thinking after the race, Liam, that he might go to that per Thames qualifier that Ketchum Derry won last year at Exeter in February now in a couple of weeks' time. But to me, he's more a Carl Cup or a pipe horse, definitely. I think a fast run 2.5 miles would be up his street. I think he's marked 128, I saw the last day. So he probably needs to run again. Oh, he's no chance than Albert Bartlett. I don't know where they're going. I don't know where they're barking up that tree. Uh, get another run into him. Hopefully they do and see the light. And I wouldn't put anybody off him because he ran into Persiamore earlier in the season. Was second behind that good pipe horse that I haven't seen win beneath my wings in a bumper Ascot, and that's what got me onto him. I'd love to see him have another run and then crack maybe at the pipe or the Carl Cup because I think they have their per Thames horse, and I think he'd be better off at that. He's no Bartlett horse, not a hope.
No, I'd agree completely. Save the best till last. Old Park Star getting £2 from Hurricane Pat, put 18 lengths between him and obviously the second favourite. To be fair, nothing else got involved, did it? I was really impressed. I saw some time form ratings, and he ran to a mark that would be considered supreme novice hurdle winning, likes of Altior. I think he's £1 behind. Joe, what did you make of Old Park Star? Rightful favourite, I'm sure you'd agree. Is he too short now? 9-4 top price, what I'm seeing.
I don't know if he's too short or not. If you back a 9-4 winner, you're happy, aren't you, at the end of the day? And I think he's an absolute monster of a horse, this thing. I haven't been blown away by a novice hurdler literally since the likes of sort of Connell. And that hurt because I didn't even back Connell. But I think this is an absolute machine of a horse. He was like hands and heels the whole way round. I've gone back and watched this race a few times just to make sure, I'm not sort of getting too carried away. And everyone's saying, oh, Hurricane Pat underperformed. I'm like, give me a break now. He travelled like a dream the whole way round. He jumped fine. When he was asked to go and close the gap, he just didn't have the speed. Simple as that. If you watch the straight as well, Liam, the home straight here, they jumped 3 hurdles in the back. He came around absolutely swinging. Nico didn't even give him a clip until after he jumped the first 2. So 3 out, winged it, nudged along, just extended. Jumped 2 out, nudged, extended. Then he got a clip down the neck. Didn't even give him a clip down the rear end. Just a, come on, we're going to ping this and off we go. Wing the last, off he went. Like he's doing a half speed and winning by as far as he wants. For me, case closed. We have our supreme winner, Old Park Star. is a superstar. This is going to be a big shame though for Paul Nicholls watching this thing romp up the Cheltenham Hill, because he was obviously with them before this season. But he jumped well, he's slick, he's fast, he probably stays, he's got Cheltenham form, he's got more experience than most of the contenders in the Supreme. Case closed, Liam. We have our Supreme winner. Nothing will come close to him.
The thing is, I suppose Nicholls wouldn't have known what was under the bonnet, Joe, because he wouldn't have been
Exactly.
campaigned in this way, would he?
Exactly. Very true. Very true. Yeah. Yeah.
Jamie, I'm in agreement with Joe. I was really taken by this. Are we all getting a little bit too overexcited? The DRF hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah, but sorry, not even just to jump in, but you send a newcomer to the DRF from Willie Mullins, comes out and wins 1-for-1. It's like, what's that going to tell us? Because if
You
he's
could
going to
have a team
send us,
follow up though, couldn't you? On second start, King
you
Rasco Gray being one.
you gonna have time from a DRF to get a run into a Supreme? I wouldn't think so myself. You've got what, 4 weeks after the DRF, or is it 5 weeks? It's just like everyone's expecting something to happen from the Mullins yard, and nothing has. Not a sausage has come out of his yard this year and sort of put himself into the Supreme hat. Fou de Trois Sonny's going up in trip. That's big alarm battles. Salma Duveri is the only other one, a Richie horse. Doesn't look like that French form will stack up too well. I don't see what's going to come out of the DRF that's going to go, here we go, this is going to be Old Park Star, because it's a lack of experience. Like
Yeah,
that
sure. The horse that can beat Old Park Stars not even turn up in the Grade One novice. So we'll say more about that.
But like, there's nothing I can see
Bottlers.
looking through unraced horses, through what we've seen. I don't give anything a chance against Old Park Star. What have we seen that's come close to that sort of performance? And like I said, Nico didn't even ask him to go and quicken up. He's just done it all on his own. Like this proper monster. This is like whereas like to like talk the talk and things like that. They're chasers. They're absolutely chasers in the making. I think Old Park Star wins, unless Al Kairos could do something about it. But apart from that, case closed, boys. Case closed.
Fair enough. Just to throw in there, Jay, Kopek had only had one start over hurdles, if I remember correctly, prior to going to the DRF. Hence why some idiot came out with a silly statement regarding Willie Mullins and novice grade ones.
You might be right this year. You might be right
Might
this
be
year.
right this year. Might be right this year. I still think Willie will win the Albert Bartlett. Yeah, he's very good. I caught my eye. He was on my radar since he won at Kempton, Liam. He's very good. I will say, like years ago, I don't know when Constitution Hill won, he beat John Bon. It was an
JONBON,
8 runner field, and there was a lot of no hopers in it. This is going to
Phil
be a big
Crook.
field, so you'd have to have a lot of. He's going to have to be the horse that I think he is to go and win like he did. But he's been around the track. Now I know it was the new track and going to the old. Um, yeah, he's very good. The only horse that who's on my think, but the problem is in inexperience is El Kairos, because as I said, I've never seen a horse come around the bend in Leopardstown like that in a hurdle in a long time, and that was unbelievable. Now, for future references at this present moment in time, I think Old Park Stars a chaser, where El Kairos is a proper 2 mile hurler for next season. And if you want to give me a price next year for the champion hurdle, oh yeah, thank you very much, El Kairos. But it's the experience. Oh, I wish they went for the grade one, but I suppose Gordon Elliott's right in saying, look, give him an experience in the maiden hurdle. If he goes too quick in a grade one novice at the DRF, he might scare him again. So yeah, there's a couple of decent horses each way against Old Park Star still, Liam. So look, it's not, to me, it's not a foregone conclusion. But is he the most? He showed the best form and the best performance of the season, 100%. Yeah, he's really good horse. There's no doubt about that. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good Supreme. Yeah, it's going to be a proper old school Supreme, hopefully, and that's the most important thing. I'm sick of these 6, 7 runner fields of grade ones at Cheltenham. This is going to be a proper race, and yeah, may the best horseman, and he's definitely at the moment the best horse in the race. Yeah,
16 runners, the clatter of loads of hooves. It'll
yeah,
be brilliant, absolutely.
yeah.
Friday, we'll move on to some of the chasers. Start with the novice chasers. The grade two, Jamie, you had far more conviction around this selection than I, but I certainly did follow you in and tipped up on our preview show. No questions asked, be aware. I know you were really keen on Be Aware in this, Joe. Just went too hard from the front, do you think, Harry, in the end?
Yeah, maybe just not as good as I thought he was, to be fair. I probably just misjudged his ability. And having obviously, a big connection with Wendigo and seeing what we did to No Questions Asked and sort of pull away from him, I thought, well, he's not going to beat a 2 mile Be Aware going out. He was going to be pinging his fences from the front, but he did. He was really good, to be honest. Made me eat my words a little bit. I don't know how I ended up in profit this weekend, Ian, but I did because I lumped Be Aware, I lumped Tillate Tomps. Who else did I have? That was second. I had a few sort of other runner-ups, and I did manage to sort of finish ahead somehow. But yeah, this was a painful one. I just didn't see it coming, to be honest with you. But he's a good horse, no questions asked. Like he's a good sort. Um, I don't really know what to say on it, to be honest. I think what we see is what we get there. I just Be Aware underwhelmed me because I thought he was a little bit better than that. Surprised he got picked off over 2 miles by a 2.5 miler effectively. But yeah, I just got this one wrong.
Fair enough. Jamie, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I was delighted back to winner name for future references, but I'd be interested in any of them for down the line. Maybe Aintree for Be Aware or something like that. He's no chance at Cheltenham. No question that. Dunny's win now, and that's it, I think, really, to be honest, John. Yeah, that's about it, really. I wouldn't be getting excited over the farm, no.
Fair enough. In that case, would you be more interested in the winner at Windsor on Sunday if the ground was absolutely bottomless? Salva seems to continually improve for a fence.
Massively interesting race, Liam. Massive. There's a lot of there was a lot of educational rides, as I'll call it now from now on in that race. JONBON, for one, even he's a champion jockey, knows how to get a horse handicapped, and I put it that way, Joe. I'm like what he did on Wade Out, like pushed him number 10, he was after rail, then sweeps him around the whole field, then jumps in front the third last or whatever it is, because sometimes you don't even know what fence you are watching Windsor because the camera angles are ridiculous and the track configuration is an absolute sham in my opinion. So and then he stops and all of a sudden the vet says, oh, he lost his shoe. He was just getting handicapped for the national chase. He's a proper player in that. He's been around the track. He's beaten one big man. He's beaten Isaac de Zobo there off the bridle a mile. An extra 4 furlongs after it was 3 miles one that day at Cheltenham, I think. An extra 4 furlongs national chase, but totally off his bag. I'm like, he could be 10th coming down the hill, Liam, and he'll jump the last in front in the national chase. That's just me. Jericho, the Repine, is definitely, you're either with him, he's like Marmite, you're either with him or you're not. There's definitely a big handicap in him. And if he doesn't win a Cheltenham, he'll win a Punchestown or a big 3 mile handicap chase or something like that. Moon Rocket was getting handicapped for the Ultima as well. Didn't try hard. So there are 3 horses that are definitely on the radar for handicap chases at Cheltenham. I'd love to trust Jericho the Repnick if he ran the Ultima, but I just don't trust him. Would I probably back him on the day? I probably will, because he was second last year in the per temps, but I thought he had no chance. So yeah, there's a day in Jericho the Repnick, but what day it is the problem.
From those, Joe, that Jamie summarised there, which one do you think's probably got the best chance, really, of landing a handicap at the festival?
Moon Rocket, yeah, like Jamie said, that was everything you'd want to see if you're trying to sort of take £3 off your mark heading into Cheltenham, and rightly so. They've won it with a few horses previously. They've
Canty Classico.
Yeah, of course, Chianti Casco. They sent Trelawn in the same race. They got to sort of destroy the evidence. He could be a similar type, but Moon Rocket is the one that's got a bit of class. Where destroy the evidence just is what he is. I've seen him plenty enough. Moon Rocket is probably ahead of his handicap mark, and you can bet your bottom dollar that as soon as those tapes go up in the Ultima, they're going to go out in front with him and try and stay from the front. So, yeah, Moon Rocket was definitely one to take out of it. Salva, though, really impressive. It's really important that he has soft ground. The one that he ran and won on good to soft a few months ago, ground just didn't really suit. He needs soft ground to be at his best, but I just don't think he's really a Cheltenham horse. So, yeah, Moon Rocket, big eye catcher in the race.
Would you be playing in handicaps before the weights, Joe, or not?
Not really my bag. I've backed one horse in a handicap, and that's Active Authority in the per temps, but I sort of highlighted him at the beginning of the season as the one that I think is going to be quite proud of this one if he can land it anyway, Liam. Because I said he'll go to Newbury and he'll finish fourth. He went to Newbury and he finished fourth. And I said they'll mind him ever since, and obviously that's pretty just standard. But
That's the related double.
Active Authority.
Well, no, fourth at Newbury and then go on.
Oh, I see. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that would nice price. But he's 20-1 for 20-1 for a per temp, so that's the only handicapper I got in mind at the moment. He was second to Woodoo in the Martin Pipe as well, wasn't he? So
yeah,
I think that's the plan, but not really interested in betting in handicaps. There's so many more better bets at this stage. You can just get your fingers burnt by backing 2 or 3, and going elsewhere. I'm just not interested. I want to make money, Liam. I don't want to throw away money just backing loads of handicappers just yet.
So so there's better bets even when I tell you he's 50-1 in the place.
50-1 in the place. Wait, who is? Moon
Moon
Rocket.
is
You're right.
50s in a
Is
place.
it? Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Well, that is tempting. I can't sit and say that. It's not good. Jesus. Yeah. I thought he'd be 16-1, something like that. Like,
You'd have to get the missus to open a 365 account, I
yeah,
think.
maybe so. Maybe so. Where is that? Is it only Bet365 he's 50s?
Yeah, 25s with Hills and Unibet, and the Flutter firms go 20s.
Okay. Interesting.
Jamie, we'll come back to yourself. Windsor, I'm not sure if any of these are really going to have much of a chance, which is a little bit disappointing for me to say so at the Cheltenham Festival, because there's one of my anti-post selections in here. She was slightly disappointing, but then again, I wanted them to use the stamina on Take No Chances in this hurdle race. They didn't do that. It was an absolute cruel, wasn't it? Potter's Charm, do you think he can be even more progressive and get competitive, or is this a move on?
Potter's Charm now, Liam, is like the horse that we'll see every handicap, 2.5 mile handicap that have every single meeting at Cheltenham. He's going to be like a Paddy Power Gold Cup horse, isn't he? Really, like something like that for next season.
Mm.
He'd be definitely on my radar for something like that. He's had his day now. Would I be backing him for the rest of the season? Probably not. He probably ended up in that select hurdle at Sandown at the end of the season, something like that. But then on to chasing. And then following season, then he'd be in the Paddy Power Gold Cups, December Gold Cups. That's his level.
Fair enough. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, well, I've never really sort of been a fan of the horse. I sort of made it quite vocal about the campaign that they gave him last season was dreadful. And they seem to be hammering him quite hard this year too. But I gave him no chance this weekend. And if you look at him 3 out on the home turn, he was off the bridle on the inside, looking like he was going back, and then effectively actually won a bit snugly. So maybe it's just something in his brain a little bit that needs working on and sort of realize what his job is because he doesn't seem to know it. But when he did, and the penny dropped and sort of let go of the bridle, he was off. Obviously, he's a winner last season, won 4 or 5 on the bounce, whatever it was. And then I wrote him off. Look, perhaps he is a good horse because to win the way he did after looking like he was going to be pulled up sort of 3 out, I was like, there's got to be some sort of engine in there. I think they rode Take No Chances wrong, Liam. I don't know about you, but like they
Absolutely.
rode her, sorry, for speed. Didn't really make sense. Why didn't they just go off and make the run in? You could see 2 out, something like that. Harry Skelton, like Take No Chances, were ready to go forward, and he just reined her in a little bit. And it's like just let her go. She's telling you she wants to. Obviously, they know better, and hindsight's a wonderful thing. But surely, as a backer, you'd have wanted her to just let her go, let her go. You know, over this sort of trip, you don't want to be wasting energy reining them in. She only just got touched off by Strong Leader, didn't she, when they met a couple of starts ago? And I see nothing wrong with that sort of form really in comparison to this. So perhaps they should have let her go. But hindsight's a wonderful thing. Maybe I've got Potter's charm on her. Perhaps he's better than what I gave him credit for.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll move on to one race before we come to the Clarence House, and that was Protectorat. Great to see at his obviously old age. Well, certainly didn't look old. I thought that he was coming back to them at one stage. He just picked up and found again. Obviously won this last year. I think Resplendent Grey was a bit of an eye catcher as well. Back in second, was he, Jamie, for a tilt at the National? I'm assuming.
I would be loving him for a Grand National, but a different sort of national, Liam.
Mm.
I'd love him in an Irish national or a Scottish. I don't think he's just quite classy enough because the Grand National's gone up another level when it comes to classiness. If it was an old school Grand National, oh yeah, all day long, I'd be all over him. It's just gone too classy for him, I think. He's an admirable horse. Like he could end up back in that race that he won at Sandown, the old Whitbread, the old Bet365 Gold Cup, whatever it's called now. He could win that again, but I wouldn't be loving him for a Grand National. No. I can understand that horse is absolutely wrecking my head. That Matata looked unbelievable at Cheltenham the one before. I don't know what happened the last day. Now, I'm not the one to crib jockeys, but JJ Slevin did want to seriously have a look at that arrangement because oh my god, that's for another day. But Matata, I know people are saying that
He's only been in the door 2 minutes, Jamie.
Oh God, no, he's terrible.
Jesus.
He's terrible. I'm sorry, and he's a nice guy, rode fast or slow to win 2 Punchestown Gold Cups, and he was mustering on him. But after that, oh God, no. But anyway,
Welcome to our next special guest, JJ Slemons.
yeah. But he's a lovely fella, JJ, and he's an admirable fella. But oh no, he did Matata. I don't know what he was doing there last day. But anyway, I think people are wrong with Matata. Like, I know it's one on soft ground. It might be hypocritical here, but it was good ground the last day at Cheltenham. I think he just needs better ground and just be seen to be better effect. And if he wants to go up and trip, I think he'd be better on better ground. So I won't give him up on him for a certain race that I have an eye on him for. But he's just an enigma. One day he looks unbelievable, and the other day he's absolutely crap. So, yeah. But Protector, I've won a lot of money on him down the years, Liam. Admiral Horse, he's winning now. And maybe he might turn up next year, but yeah, he's an Admiral Horse, might be placed in the grade one maybe towards the end of the season, but that's be about it.
Joe, do you think they'll take a chance and go back to try and win the Ryanair as they have done before, or was this his Gold Cup and maybe Aintree somewhere else?
No, they'll give him a go. Like he won it before. Like Jamie said, he's a bit of a sort of podcast horse for us. Jamie put him up a massive price when he won the Ryanair that year. So we've sort of kept a close eye on him since. Why not get him back to the race? He's a 10-year-old now. His best days may well be behind him, but
Look, the Ryanair ain't that deep unless certain horses
exactly.
don't turn up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And look, he beat Handstand, who Ben Paulin assures everyone is a Gold Cup horse. He beat Resplendent Grey, won the Bet 365. It's good form. He can turn up in the same nick at Cheltenham. He's not a forlorn hope anyway. He'll need a few things to fall his way, but he's a very, very good horse. And yeah, get him in there, give him his chance because he deserves to give it a go for sure.
No, absolutely. One of JONBON or Madgeborough isn't going to go for sure, aren't they? Gaelic Warrior, Django Bay, Romeo Coolio, Craig Dawning, the Jukebox Man, Imperi Pass we haven't seen, Banbridge is ground dependent. That's taken out almost the top 10 in the betting. So other than JONBON or Madgeborough and Factor File, 25 to 1 bar. So there's definitely some value there from an each way perspective, isn't there?
I got a feel the only trouble with this Ryanair is the fact that there's so many in the Gold Cup and so little in the Ryanair that if it gets to the point where they're like, hang on a minute, we've got Factor File and then we've got like Protector out and a couple of others. Some wouldn't be surprised to see one or two do the switcheroo because they sort of
Django.
Yeah, possibly.
Liam's going to kill me now for that. Django.
Yeah, true.
Django. If Django Bay runs against Factified, I know who I'm backing in. And I'm not a lover of Django Bay, but I'm telling you, I'm going to back Django Bay to be Factified if he runs in the right
Yeah.
Look, good race.
Sick now. Oh no! Please don't switcheroo.
They won't. Gold Cup.
I think he will, and then move on to the Gold Cup the following year.
He can't because I found the winner of this. It's not that I'm that desperate for Django Bay to run in that. It's that I've backed something at 50 to 1 in this that's halved in price. I think Skelton potentially has the winner of this, but perhaps a conversation for another time. It's a mare.
Whoa! You can't do that. Come on. Well, who is it?
I've raved about it online. It's no secret. Panic Attack.
Panic Attack. Yeah. Okay, interesting.
Go on, Jag. What are you scowling at?
Mare chase for her.
That's far more competitive in terms of depth. There's about 8 that come in there.
That could all change when if Spinderbury wins the Irish Gold Cup.
Yeah, I'd say she goes to the mares.
If Spinderbury wins the Irish Gold Cup, that's a big if, right? That'll come out and run in the Gold Cup. Then it only has Panic Attack, all jokes aside, only has Dino Blue to beat. So
July Flower, only by night.
A few more than that.
No, it doesn't stay, Liam. Do you know what I do with only by night? And this is honest and true. So put a £5, £7 camera on her and bury her in a Grand Annual, and she wouldn't be far off winning it.
Yeah, she hasn't been bought for a handicap though.
That's the problem. Yeah, she's been bought for black type, and they'll put her in the bloody mare's chase, and she won't stay.
Defo.
We'll move on to the last race. Everyone beats JONBON by 8 lengths, but not today. Really good to see JONBON get his head back in front. Just from a sporting perspective, isn't it? Like 10 years of age, I thought he was very much gone at the game. The race has fallen apart with Ilate Tomp. He wasn't going from the minute, was he? Jamie, I'll start with you for obvious reasons. What did you make of the race and JONBON up in trip possibly? What you've wanted for
and the comments. Come on, let's get it all out. That's what it's for. Let's get it all out. Come on.
Right. Number one, anyway, the race in 4 was Gidley Park gone at the game. Number
He wears a
two,
heart defibrillator.
yeah,
Heart
number
monitor
two
all
now,
week.
right? And I'm going to move on, and this is going to ruffle a few feathers, especially with a fellow who loves this horse, right? If Marie Nationale ran in that Clarence House chase, it'd have been pulled up like Gidley Park, right? Right. Hold on now to my madness, right?
Because it was soft.
I'm really gonna try hard just to zip
Yeah,
my
yeah.
mouth for a
Hold on now.
second, all
This
right?
is my madness now,
I'll
right?
just let
But
you go.
Marie wouldn't have won that race anyway. Not a hope, right?
I
But
can't
forget
keep
about
my
that.
mouth shut. How dare you?
Forget about that, right? Elect Tom Duckling, it's going back to the whole thing, right? Elect Tom. I never fancied it anyway for Cheltenham because it doesn't have a great Cheltenham record. But 2 years ago, this horse has been touted for a King George. This horse has fell into the 2 mile division because Willie Mullins only sent it to the Clarence House chase off a break for prize money to win the championship. Now he's been found out in a proper race, right? Tisselask is not a top end handicapper. He's a grade 1 horse, right? And he took every one of those horses out of his comfort zone. You have to remember, probably won't go to Queen Mother Champion Chase, I think Skelton's keen, right? But you have to remember now, the Queen Mother Champion Chase is a mile 7.5, which will suit Tisselask, right? And should go for the champion chase. Now, but this horse has been going 5, 6 runs a season. He's definitely a proper grade 1 horse, I think Tisselask is, because he's put every other horse out of his comfort zone.
Mm,
I think he's a really good horse, Tisselask. I really do. I'd wait now till next season. I don't know where he'd probably rock up an entry or something like that, Liam, to be honest with you. But there's no 2 mile race for him. So we'll see. They might leave him off to the end of the season to get prize money, maybe in the celebration chase, probably his next protocol. JONBON for me should have been up in trip years ago. But it's JP's obsession trying to win a Queen Mother Champion Chase is the only reason JONBON has stick to 2 miles.
Yeah.
I think another owner, this horse would have won a King George by now. That's just my opinion. I think if it was owned by the Donnellys, like Shishkin, they saw the light. Should have won King George. JONBON should have been up. The comments is great from Barry Connell. Look, love him or don't like him, whatever. He's doing it to ruffle a few feathers, which is great because now you can't say nothing in the modern world because people get offended for it. Look, borderline 1 minute I think he's arrogant. The next minute, yeah, he's doing it for clicks. Do you know what I mean? And he's getting people talking about the race, which isn't good for the sport, right?
Sure.
But I just hope it doesn't. He said it now. He should have said it once and left it there. That's just my opinion. What happens if a horse that we like? I'm going to quote a horse now, right? What if a horse that we like, Liam, from Skelton called Let It Rain? By God, if it let it rain, oh my God, he'll mince his words then, won't he? See, you have to be. There's a fine line. He should have said it once about JONBON and left it there, but he's gone in again, and that's what people don't like.
Oh,
And he
you're on
shouldn't have
about
done it.
you're on
That's just
about
me.
you're on about the ground when you said let it
Yeah,
rain.
yeah,
What you said, got
100%.
you,
But
yeah,
he said he's saying nobody beats JONBON by 8 lengths. Then he went on and he only has to clear. Just leave it at that. Do you know what I mean? But he's doing it to get people going. I understand that. It's a bit of crack too. And he's being serious too, and everyone thinks he's serious, but underneath it all, he's having a laugh in the back of his head. I know that. But it's just that if it rains and it comes up soft heavy, that's just my opinion. If it's good ground, there's not a pin. If it goes to soft even, well, as we call it over in Ireland, yielding, nothing
Yielding,
will beat
yeah.
Marina down. But soft heavy, I'd be seriously worried.
Black Corton, just on the Thistle theory, Black Corton obviously went on to win some decent races, didn't he? Did he end up winning the Ryanair, Black Corton?
No.
Ran in
Fro-
it, but yeah,
Frodon
did.
one, yeah.
Obviously, I remember watching Black Corton, quite literally, I was there running around Worcester. So he's not had a too dissimilar trajectory. And then he was placed in graded races. So whether Thistleski's a true grade 1 animal, I possibly question. But he certainly ran a good race the last day. Joe, your rebuttal?
Yeah, right. Let's get it out there and come back in me as well because I need the opinions to give me some clarity on the situation too. You know,
Yeah, if you ain't going to listen.
Yeah, no, I do.
Well done, Liam Firkin. Well done. Come on, can we even round? That's the best quarter this whole season.
This is the problem. People assume that because I was backing up Barry means I don't like JONBON, means I don't like Elite Tom. Jesus Christ, I've emptied my pockets on Elite Tom, God knows how many times this year. But look, people, in my opinion, have got offended that Barry Connell still thinks he has the best horse in the race. Now, if we take a look at what happened this weekend, you could see from the get-go, Elite Tom was out of his comfort zone and not going with any panache at all. You've then got Gidley Park, who has a heart monitor all week long, pull up very early. You've left the race to Thistleask and JONBON, and everyone's talking about how JONBON's put up a personal best. Absolute nonsense. He's just outstayed Thistleask in a bit of a finish there. Now, by Barry Connell saying that the race turned into a Mickey Mouse race, prove me where that didn't turn into a Mickey Mouse race. It's turned into JONBON versus Thistleask, and because
I think his
JONBON's got
choice
to
of
beat
words was wrong, though,
Thistleask,
Joe, for that. I,
I'm not
the
disagreeing that
choice
he's
of
doing.
words was wrong. But
I'm
that's
not
just
dis-
me. He's doing it for
That's
get
fine.
everyone roped in. I understand that.
I'm not disagreeing that he could have said it in a way which wouldn't
A
have
different
ruffled
way,
so
yeah.
many
Yeah,
feathers.
you should have, yeah. Yeah.
But for people then to start coming out and calling him deluded, etc., I'm like, well, let's just rewind and have a look at the race. JONBON beat Thistleask. It's not like JONBON murdered Ilite Tomp, who is in best form. You got Gidley Park, who is not a Grade 1 horse. Thistleask is not a Grade 1 horse, in my opinion. He's an old school Grade 2 horse, is what I'd say. When these divisions were filled up, he's just below the best. Barry Connell has watched that race and said, "Wow, that's turned into a Mickey Mouse two runner race. I still think I've got the best horse. What is the problem? Why is everyone getting so offended?" And because I don't think Nicky Henderson's offended, JONBON's not offended. I don't think Nico or James Bone was offended. He's saying this race has turned into a two-runner race, and I've got the best horse, and I still think we'll win. What the hell is wrong with that?
I
What is
don't
wrong
think
with it?
I don't think people are necessarily offended in the main, and also
Oh, I can
I think
tell you, by the comments on Twitter, people
remember
are
when I said you weren't
offended.
going to listen.
Pe- 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 People have been saying the people that
Calm
think
down, Barry
Ilite,
Connell fanboy.
the people that think Ilite Tomp is the best two-miler have found it offensive. Why? The people that think JONBON is their favourite horse have found it offensive. Why?
I think
Was
you
that
can
not a Mickey Mouse race? Did that not turn into a two-runner Mickey Mouse race? Ilite Tomp, the 1-2 favourite, 1-3, was gone at the game as soon as the tapes went up. He then had Gidley Parker, who has a heart monitor, who pulled up. He then beat Thistleask, who's stepping into like Grade 1 company. JONBON beat, stays on and beats him, and everyone's calling it disrespectful. It turned into a Mickey Mouse race, and Barry Connell has said, "There's nothing there that worries me. I think if we jump, we win. Get over it. This
I
world
think
is far too soft. Get over it. That's what I think, and I'm standing by my
William
word.
Firkin, come on, put in your 10 pence.
No, I want it. Like, give it to me. I need to. If I'm seeing
William
something
Firkin,
wrong,
come on. I know there's a good opinion under there. Ballyburnesque with your top.
like, why
But
has everyone got offended that the race fell into
he
like? Because
keeps
everyone's
he keeps
talking
saying
like,
everyone's offended, Joe. I don't think people are offended. I think they have a difference of opinion, and just because they have a difference of
well,
opinion doesn't mean that they're offended. Well, therefore they may potentially. They just would have said something different. Perhaps they're more diplomatic in their own natures. The 2 points that I want to make is, first of all, I think that people need to recall the fact that Barry's speaking both not only as a trainer, so he's not speaking as if he's Paul Nicholls or anybody else who would be perhaps a little bit more mealy mouthed. He's an owner, so he loves the animal. He's got a real sentimental attachment to Marine Nationale. So I think that also derives a little bit more emotion in him, which is great. We all want to get emotional about this game. That's what makes it so brilliant. The second thing is, I just think he's been slightly foolish, and he's not done himself any favours. The pressure he's now applied to himself for Marine Nationale to deliver is huge. Now
that's fine.
Barry
Well, that's
might
not
love that.
disrespect. That's not
Barry might
disrespect, though, is it?
Barry might thrive under those conditions. Those are the only two takeaways I had from it. I think he could have worded it differently. I don't really care or mind is my honest answer. But those are my biggest two takeaways. The fact that, remember, he's also an owner, and somebody else, sorry, I'll make a final point, made a very good point. They said in response to something that I posted on Twitter that most people who have that enthusiasm as an owner, it's because they believe their horse is the best, not that the rest are rubbish and therefore his horse will win. So I think if you just talked up Marine more so, rather than calling other horses that they've competed in those races Mickey Mouse, or saying all he has to do is jump round. I know it's semantics, but why not champion Marine and the fact that he's better than them rather than the rest aren't very good?
I think he has. He literally said this race has turned into a
He's
Mickey Mouse race.
He's criticizing the opposition.
What did he say?
Joe,
What did he
before,
say?
I know, but people are elaborating.
Everyone beats JONBON by 8 lengths.
Different scenario. That's not what happened this weekend. That's
I
not
understand
that was before.
His comments at the end of the day where people are picking up on is that he thinks that it's over. The race is run now, the Queen Mother Championships, and he's won his second one already. We
No
all
one,
know it's
no one.
horse racing. Do you know what I
Sure,
mean?
sure. Look,
One
I'm
to
not. I'm
four
not
shots.
saying
One to
me.
four shots better than Marine National have been beaten in this race. Do you know what I
Sure,
mean?
me,
So
me,
I
me
think people are
backing him
picking
up.
up that he's disrespecting the opposition more than disrespecting a certain horse. And then
But
you know yourself, Joe, when it comes to a bullet point comment,
mm,
people will have 100 different angles about it to
mm,
make it look like they know something about it.
he
Do you know
didn't.
what I mean?
He didn't
So
even say John Bond's name this weekend. He
I
didn't even say
know, but he did
Thistleask's
before.
name this weekend. Yeah,
That's my
exactly.
point. That's the last point. I'm going to shut up now about it. My last point is that's my only point about the whole thing. He said it once, but he's gone in again.
But he didn't
Regardless if he
mention
said John Bond's name or not,
he
he's
watched the
quoted Mickey
race.
Mouse race, so he brings in the four horses in the same race. So he's gone in again, which I thought was foolish, but he's doing it to get everybody talking. And hasn't he got
Look,
everybody talking? We're still talking about it.
no, sure, sure. Look, and it's no again, just to clarify for anyone who thinks that suddenly I don't like John Bond, so that's not the case. I love John Bond, love Ilite Tom. I just don't understand how people can argue against the fact that it turned into a Mickey Mouse race. Like there was only two left. One was in like, he did the same in the Supreme. He told everyone he would win. He won. He told everyone he'd win the Champion Chase. He
All
won.
right,
This
we
is just
know, we
like,
know, we know. Okay, we know.
I think
but
he's been far more bullish and outspoken, I think, now though, Joe,
yeah.
especially with regards to the opposition and the races they're running in than he ever has
Mm.
been before.
The words when he said everyone beats John Bond by 8 lengths could have been done differently. I understand that. I understand that part. But this weekend, I don't see anything that he said that was unfactual. It's all factual stuff. That's all I'm saying. So if people choose to get disrespected because John Bond wanted to run a race effectively, and then so be it. He is fully entitled to look at that race and think, I've still got the best horse. And I think if anyone suddenly thinks that what John Bond did there means Marine National is going to get beat by John Bond, I just think they're looking at the race completely wrong as well. So, and I've had a fair lengthy conversation with Barry about this since, and he couldn't believe the uproar because he said, "Oh, I didn't even mention the horse." Now, look, like I said, everyone listening, I am a huge fan of the yard. Owner, trainer, does the lot. If you see what he's achieved, it's phenomenal. But like this is sport. Like you don't see football teams sort of like get beat and whatever, or you don't see Arteta go, "Oh, Man City, yeah, they won the FA Cup, but it doesn't really trouble me." No one go, "Oh, how dare you think that your team's the best?" It's just a bit bonkers to me. But we'll leave it there.
And the final thing I will say is animals are animals. They can't get offended because they're animals. So we can move on from there. Anyway, where does he turn up, John Bond, Jamie? Ryanair or Champion Chase?
I think he won't turn up at Cheltenham at all, Liam. I think he'd run in the
Oh,
Ascot Chase in mid-February and then on to the Melling. And maybe turn up at that. Maybe have a go at that Oaksey Chase instead of going for the celebration at Sandown, maybe. But that's another 3 runs as well, Liam. And that's what, 2, 3 runs already this season. Do you know what I mean? So he's 10-year-old now. So maybe Ascot Chase Melling and done then for next season. Maybe have a go at 3 miles next season. But look, he's coming to the end of his career and what a great horse he's been down the years.
Joe, do you think he'll still turn up against Marine? And if so, are you having a bet 8 lengths plus?
No, because he won't. No, it'll be 18 lengths plus because that's what he beat him by actually. But anyway, John Bond, he's going to go to Ascot, isn't he? Whether he wins or not, I still think even if he wins over that 2 mile 5, that they'd still consider the Champion Chase just because of how late in his career it is. But I would like to see him in a Ryanair because I think he gets seriously competitive in that race with whoever the favourite is.
Soft. I agree there. If it's soft heavy in the Champion Chase, he will turn up. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to consider as well if they go to the Ryanair with John Bond, then Django probably is in the Gold Cup. So it depends how you want to look at it and what you think that they are thinking effectively. But the right race for him could be the Ryanair, and I think he gets seriously close to Factify, whoever's in there, really. Like, no doubt about it, yeah. But I hope he goes to Cheltenham, yeah.
Cool. Before we get on to eye catchers and performance of the week, and I've got a couple for the tracker that I really liked on the weekend. Joe, you want to do a bit of housekeeping, I think, mate, around your Discord and things like that?
Yeah, just a bit of a mention, really. Got sort of hundreds and hundreds of members in a group that is part of the Discord app. You'll find all of my extra content there, my golf tips, as well as all of my horse racing tips and content. You'll find all of the new recruits. So if you're into point-to-point racing, Frenchies, and you want to know who's been sold, where they've gone, about all their pedigrees and all of the rest of the good stuff, then there will be a link in the description below for our viewers. I will offer you a discount link to come over and try it. Completely optional, but when people join, they don't tend to leave because they enjoy it so much. You'll get racing content every single day. You'll get to know, as you know, our trigger is running this week, which is one of JONBON's brothers. He has another one. I will give you all the information on sort of things that seem to go under the radar in modern media, as well with all of my tips too. But I'll get something on the screen for the next episode so you can have a visual of it. But if anyone does want to join, there is a discount link in the description below.
Magic. Eye catchers. Jamie, was there much that went into your tracker over the last week?
Yeah.
Muncie.
Yeah. No, Munsif, yeah, was one, but the other one has to be in the race won by Hot Fuzz. Yeah. Live Conti's my horse for the county hurdle all day long, yeah. Has these 5 runs. Remember now, he's raced at France in hurdles, so that makes he's qualified. That's his 5th run now over hurdles. Yeah. Harry Skelton, what was he doing there? And it was the same with the horse that, what was he doing as well on the other horse? I know Sean Bowen cut across him.
Harry Lowe's.
That's good race riding, but Harry Lowe's, there's definitely a handicap in him. I'd be more Harry Lowe's for Aintree more than Cheltenham, Liam. But I think Skelton has quite possibly the county hurdle winner, and it's like Conti. Yeah, he was by far the biggest eye catcher. I mean, he was out the back, didn't try yard, and finished 3rd. Came from nowhere to finish 3rd behind Hot Fuzz the last day. Yeah, he's definitely my county horse. Live Conti in it.
Perfect. Joe, yourself?
No eye catchers, Liam. I was too busy getting emotional on Twitter. But the performance of the weekend was PROACTIF. That was just superb.
Fantastic. Couple for me. Don't shoot me, everyone. It's on the all-weather.
Oh, no, do shoot him. Do shoot him. Jamie's camera's going here. I knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks everyone. We appreciate you.
Yeah, bye, Liam.
That's all right. Me and the viewers can just have this winner. Wiltshire for William Haggis. He's getting back down towards his mark of 95, which is his last winning mark. Real eye catcher, running a 6-furlong race last Friday. If you go back and watch it, he's dead last. He's pulled out, comes up the near side rail, and is flying home. Looks like he's going to finish tailed off, finishes 6th. He's getting towards that nice mark. May even be saved for the turf. Just stick him in your tracker as a permanent one. My second one is a horse whose mark did not go up for winning. Scorpio Rising was off a mark of 121, is still off 121, was won his last 3 races, has completed a hat-trick. I think really progressive, a lovely grey for Ollie Murphy. Now, I'm going to give you a potential target because I think he can go up in trip. There's a 52 grand to the winner handicap at Uttoxeter, of course, Midlands National Day, usually the day after the festival. I'm not sure if it is this year, but after Cheltenham finishes, if you've still got a few quid left, I'd have a few quid in him if he lines up there. But Scorpio Rising, really progressive. I was hoping he'd go up more because I'd liked him for the pipe potentially, but also needs additional runs to get in. So they're the 2 from me. We've got Joe's performance of the week. Jay, what was yours?
I thought it was LeConquier in the Mayor's Hurdle because it was her first run in open grade to come. I know she didn't win. She should have won, but that's first time. That's her 3rd run in her life over hurdles. Massive performance in my book.
Fair enough. And for me, I'm going to go with Old Park Star. I thought that was mustard.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, Old Park Star would have been for me. God damn it.
He was really good. Lads, any other business?
Yes, we have questions. I go back to nearly every comment in our comment section. Loads of people ask questions and I tend to forget. So it might be worth it implementing some sort of questions from the crowd section. So if you've got any topics you want to discuss, any questions about particular horses, anything, in fact, just drop us a message in the comment section and maybe I'll start just bringing them up at the end of an episode and we can have a bit of a chat about them. It just gives us something more to talk about. Yep.
Magic. Dave Jennings and the Racing Post will be soon us if we call it that.
We'll call it something else, shall we? Any...
Magic. Nothing else, Jamie? Anything more from you?
Cheltenham preview. Cheltenham Trials
preview tomorrow night. Will be live tomorrow night, is it, Joe? Yeah. We have Mark Mackay and we have a new guest to the channel who I watch quite regularly now. Is a fellow who likes a cigarette tipping horses, and he's called Smoking Cheltenham. So hopefully he'll add a bit of spice to the channel.
Yeah, Fantastic. Nice one, lads. Thank you very much. If you haven't already, please do like the show. Obviously, subscribe if you haven't done so and get your performance of the week. Any questions, any comments, and who's right, Jamie or Joe, on the marine debate. We'll see you all again tomorrow.